Well, Saturday, Titanosaurus Day 2 of Megacon. I've definitely got to say, I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be a really fun day.
You bet I am, Retro Reject. But, where's your cosplay? I thought you said you were going to be cosplaying today.
Oh, don't worry, Titanosaurus. I've got my cosplay. Right here. Let's go! Cyclops!
Man, I tell you, that teleportation works a treat. Now this Megacon better be ready, because the Red Psycho Ranger has arrived!
Okay, Retro Reject, next time tell me when you're gonna teleport like that. I had to run all the way here.
Yeah, sorry about that, Titanosaurus. But anyway, you can go on ahead. But I'll be back up with you later, because I have some panels to attend.
Alright, well, you go do that. I'm gonna go enjoy the convention.
Hey guys, we're here at Day 2 of Megacon. Now, before I join up with Titanosaurus, I'm going to go attend some panels that I wanted to. The first one is going to be that My Hero Academia villain training camp. So let's go.
Alright. So, as I mentioned earlier, the people that were supposed to run this panel were no-show. So, I am literally making this up as I go, and hopefully I don't suck too much. I don't know. Thank you. Stop. Alright, stop. Keep it going. No, stop. Alright. Stand up, villain. I'm gonna embarrass you. This is turned into the League of Villains of Shame. Alright, Overhaul, as that is your name. I'm not going to use your formal name, I just like the Overhaul name. So, I gotta ask, what is the coolest thing about being Overhaul? And I'm not quite sure where to put this microphone. So,
The coolest thing about being Overhaul. Because he knows the cure for everything. And you all need a cure.
I ain't gonna lie, man, that's deep, that's real deep. Alright, give it up for Overhaul, everybody.
Okay, that was not as fun as I thought it was going to be, and I just decided to cut it off there. Now I'm going to go attend my second panel, which is the Common Rider panel, so let's hope that one's a little bit better.
My name is John, and I represent Foundation Pineapple. I started Foundation Pineapple to do Kamen Rider panels at conventions about 5 years ago. Our first one was, I believe it was called Anime Experience Orlando. The one that Megacon bought and is now this. So this is essentially a reunion. And so today, we're going to talk about Kamen Rider. I used to do like a Showa panel, and then I do a Heisei panel, and then a separate toy panel. But I've condensed it all down now because I find that the important, fun things to talk about are all the same for everything, and it's that middle phase 2 heisei that everybody's seen and everybody can make fun of those together, but not till we get there.
Hey, my favorite panel.
Now, I know that the title of the panel was the Heisei era, but I did just condense everything down to everything. So we're going to fly through some Showa Kamen Rider series. I'll start by introducing what Kamen Rider is. Raise your hand if you don't know. All right, thank you three for coming. I appreciate it. I will try to be as informative as possible, but be warned, everybody else in here is going to have lots of comments, and I encourage. If you want to riff on a Kamen Rider when he comes up on a thing, please do it. It's fun. So Kamen Rider is a Japanese superhero show that started in 1971. It is a member of the tokusatsu genre, and that represents a special effects filming. So they do a lot of practical effects in Kamen Rider. It's really, that, Godzilla, Super Sentai are really like the fathers of practical effects, in my opinion. And Ultraman. Why did I forget Ultraman?
Everyone does.
Everyone does. So Kamen Rider started with Kamen Rider. He was the first one. Now this series is still continuing today, so it's over 50, well now it's 50 years old. But the first one in 1971 was Kamen Rider 1. The next year we had Kamen Rider 2, very inventive naming scheme. And then there was a manga that had Kamen Rider 3. Kamen Rider is by a gentleman by the name of Takeshi Hongo. He got into a bit of trouble. I won't spoil it because the first episode of Kamen Rider, if you can find it, it's spectacular how they grab him and everything. But some bad guys who were essentially Japanese Nazis kidnap him, turn him into a cyborg with the power of wind and grasshoppers. And so here you see him with his big old bug eyes, a staple of the series. He's got his little antenna that's hard to see, but you can kind of see it on the manga one better. And another staple of the series, the scarf, very iconic for our first Kamen Rider. And as you can see, the rider part of Kamen Rider is that bike behind him. Most Kamen Riders have bikes. One has a car. One has a car. And
One has a car and a bike.
and one is a bike.
Two actually.
And so Kamen Rider, Kamen is Japanese for mask. So it's Masked Rider. There was an English show by the name of Masked Rider. We'll get to that a little bit. We will. But so this was our first Kamen Rider. The show started airing every year. They're not necessarily connected unless you believe in making things up. But they are all of the same franchise. It's all Kamen Rider. They're all made by Toei Productions. There was the popularity slowed, surprisingly enough. There's probably a lot of different reasons for it. I like to blame that Power Rangers exists. It wasn't the right timing for it, but I don't really care. I blame Power Rangers. I blame Saban whenever you can. You can afford it. So it's still in the Showa era, though. They made a couple movies. And so these riders didn't have full series, they just had single movies. There's Kamen Rider Z-O, who knows how you pronounce it properly?
It's Zero, because otherwise there would be two Kamen Riders named Zero.
There's Kamen Rider J, who's in the bottom right there. He's a Megazord. And then there's Kamen Rider Shin at the top there. He's what's known as a nightmare. I mentioned before how the original Kamen Rider was based on a grasshopper and wind. Think if you took grasshopper and just really went literal with it. Shin.
Shin is the first another rider.
Wasn't there one of these? I'm forgetting which one. Wasn't there also the actor who played Geki in Zoo Ranger? One of them. I think it was the.
Very possibly.
Yeah, he was Kamen Rider J.
Was it Kamen Rider J? Kamen Rider J. There's a fun fact. I'm awful with that. You guys ask me actor questions, I'm gonna go, probably. Now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, as I like to call it, the Heisei Kamen Rider series. In Japan, when the emperor changes hands, that's how they designate certain things in the culture. One of those things is Kamen Rider. So during the Showa era was a certain emperor, and then in the Heisei era is the Heisei emperor. And so during these series, they started back in 2000. They said, you know what? Let's do Kamen Rider again. Let's give it a try. It was off for a little while, but let's give it a try. We started with Kamen Rider Kuga.
The man that can break the world with a single kick.
Oh, Kamen Rider Kuga is spectacular. I'll be honest, I've only seen the first half because that is all TV Neon did before the hammer came down.
That's how mine does.
That is Gen here? What was that? So Kuga is a very, I call him a generic Kamen Rider for the Heisei era. You can see, and if you haven't figured it out from the horns, he's based on a beetle, more so than like a grasshopper or something. He has a few power-ups where he gets to change his colors and use different weapons. But again, I never finished this one because it's even older, but I did finish Agito, which I confuse the two riders all the time. Kamen Rider Agito, who's the gold one, the third one in, is a series about a gentleman who has lost his memory, and then other people lose their memories, and then for some reason, there's like, somebody has a god complex. It's weird.
He apparently kicks God.
Oh, it's so weird.
I mean, to be fair, so did Xaid. No, that's God.
That's God. Don't you forsake him. So in Agito, one of my favorite things is Kamen Rider G3, the gentleman on the left there. He is a police officer, whether you like that or not. In Japan, police officers are pretty great, and Kamen Rider G3 is the police's first attempt to make their own Kamen Rider. So you actually see that man put on the suit.
It takes an hour.
He was like Iron Man of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, very similar to Iron Man. So Kamen Rider Ryuki is based on a gentleman who's trying to keep his job at a blog because they just started doing like online news sites because it's 2002. And so he's a terrible reporter at an online newspaper who then falls into a mirror and becomes one with a dragon.
And is now in a game of life and death.
Oh yes, and then so once he gets his dragon, he realizes that this is just a tournament story. And that they're all vying for the chance to make a wish with the Dragon Balls.
And has the dumbest main villain ever.
No, dragons. I'm sure there's some balls in there. And then so to the Kamen Rider Ryuki's in the middle there, the gentleman in red. To his left is, both to his lefts are, well no, the first one to his left is his prototype form, before he becomes one with the dragon. The one next to that is the color swap villain. But if you look over here, the gentleman in blue, right here, that's Batman. Ben Affleck played him one time, but in Kamen Rider, that's what Batman looks like. And so all of these characters are based on different animals and stuff. There's a snake, there's a bear.
Gundam Heavy Arms.
There's one that's just based on guns and an ox, kind of.
The best
a manta ray. But the whole idea here is that they have to kill each other, and whoever survives gets to rewrite reality or whatever MacGuffin they've decided for this season.
Highlander Kamen Rider.
And so they try to kill each other, but of course the protagonist is a protagonist in a Japanese show, so he doesn't want to kill everybody.
And also, Kamen Rider Elden is the one who set it all up, so he could have had to wish if he wanted.
Help everybody. One of the Kamen Riders there, if you look, you see that bright yellow one, to the left of that is a purple and silver one. That man likes to eat feces. Moving on. But then after this, we decided, what if our protagonist was just like the whiniest thing in the entire world? Hot take. Kamen Rider Den is not that great. Kamen Rider Den-O is a series based on time travel. A lot of people call it the Doctor Who Kamen Rider. He travels around in a train, so all of his stuff is train-based. If you look on that face in the middle, that's his prototype form.
It's called
It's platform.
Platform.
Which is platform, like a train. But he's also got tracks on his face and chest, and you can see the tracks in his. These are all his forms, but it's also a different person. He's possessed by different ghosty, demons, specters, whatever you want to call them. The bad ones enter people and then grant wishes if you do evil, and then the wishes, oh, it turns out to be a bad thing.
And time travel.
But yes, he time travels throughout time. And then he just decides, I'm going to be really important for the rest of Kamen Rider.
They'll never get back. He is literally the only one that can bring the past to the future. That is his only purpose.
Yeah, the one rider, and then we have the secondary who...
Until we replace them finally.
Yeah, until
Zoro is just like angry immediately, and like you're doing everything wrong.
When did you hit her? Oh, we hit Den-O.
It's not, a lot of the visuals from the show are spectacular. I love the forms. The belt is one of the most musical and fun belts that there is. but I can't handle a whiny protagonist.
That is why they give him 5
It was
different
real hard.
personalities.
For example, it was real hard to get through My Hero Academia season
True.
1. Eventually hit start crying. But then after this, we said, what if we had Batman a couple seasons ago. We had Batman. What if we just really leaned into bats and we made Twilight for Kamen Rider? Kamen Rider Kiva, another time traveling season, but in a different way. Every episode is half in the past with Kamen Rider Kiva's father, and half in the present day with Kamen Rider Kiva. And they hang out in the same coffee shop. And you have to see these chains and this effect happen every 30 minutes, like every 10 minutes to change. Well, now we're in this time, but now we're in this time. And I just found it confusing. So Kamen Rider Kiva, he's based on vampire bats, Dracula really. And then so he has other forms that are based on the Wolfman, Frankenstein.
The monster from Black Lagoon.
Monster from the Black Lagoon that I always forget. He's just an underused monster in general. And then there's Kamen Rider, I'm going to pronounce it right, Isa? A religious zealot, correct?
Pretty much.
Yes, religious zealot.
Back to God.
I mean, but to be fair, they're fighting Draculas, so what would, like, when you're dealing with Draculas and stuff,
The Kamen
one
Rider
of the
Vampire
effects that
versus
this show has uses stained glass for a lot of different things, like on the skin and stuff. It looks fantastic. Otherwise, it's a little bit confusing of a series for me.
I love this costume also.
Now, this next one I haven't seen yet. I need to, I know, but I know I've seen so many memes and so many clips, and it's such a short season that I feel like I have seen it already, and that's why I haven't got around to it. But this one's just passing through. We're just passing through Kamen Rider. What do you want?
Decade.
Kamen Rider Decade was an anniversary season. He has the power of everybody. He is Kamen Rider. He takes a card, puts it in his belt, and he becomes any other Kamen Rider. Usually primaries, but technically speaking, we don't know he couldn't become anybody. And then he has a secondary Kamen Rider Decade who then transforms into the secondaries of shows.
Actually, he summons them. He doesn't transform them.
Thank you, audience.
You're welcome.
He summons them. And then I, who haven't seen the show, wish and dream that he just transformed into them, like, would make sense.
Yep. Everyone
He just
does.
summoned, he never transformed?
Nope. He literally just summons them and treats them like Pokemon.
I'm less excited to watch it again. I feel like Decade's best work was in Zeo.
It was. You're not wrong. He showed up
Alright,
first.
so
Hey, bitch.
we've sped through a few of these, a lot of these. I haven't seen a lot of these earlier Heisei videos. As I said, I've seen a lot of clips doing these panels and stuff. I put together a lot of compilations of pensions and stuff. I know what people's forms look like. So I haven't got around to a lot of them. He's magenta, and the actual actor from the show will fight you about it, so I don't know why you started. The actual actor will fight. He made his own shirt line that says magenta and has the word
You're just filming him.
I mean, that's fair. I like to describe the plot. Nobody say anything else to anybody who doesn't know the plot of Kamen Rider Guide. Just let this sink in. This is about fruits, breakdancing, and samurai.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. This is a series that I started with. When I watched the first episode, I said, why is everyone on horses for no reason? For like 10 minutes. And then they're in high school, and then everybody's breakdancing. What's going on? And then the preview for the second episode came up, because you always got to give something 2 episodes, right? The preview for the second episode comes up, and this beautiful bastard shows up. Foundation Pineapple, I mean, I might have something towards pineapple. But I saw this and I said, that's it, I'm hooked. And I have been hooked ever since. And you can see all of my little Kamen Rider items here are all Kamen Rider Guide. I love this series. It is so much fun. It is better written than most things that you'll go watch
No, my friend
this
says
year.
that because the Silver
It
Rider,
is
that the Silver Apple.
fantastic. There are twists that,
Yeah,
if you're one of those people who says, oh, you know, I never
That is my
get the
power.
twists, I always see them coming and stuff, you'll get a twist that surprises you, especially if you watch all the
In a
movies.
soccer fight.
One of the movies is about soccer. We just let it digest and get through it. But there's also an entire
Yeah, it's
special
literally like-
based around brushing
My
your
friend
teeth.
said, okay, this is really like
And this item is from the episode special about brushing your teeth. Because it is fantastic.
You have to be fresh.
Because when you brush your teeth, you're fresh. So they have it in there, they did an entire look. Because again, kids show, you gotta get kids to brush their teeth. After Kamen Rider died, we decided, what if nobody had a bike? And so we drove with Kamen Rider Drive.
Drive into the people.
And so Kamen Rider Drive, instead of using a bike as his primary mode of transportation, he uses a car. And then he has a belt that he wears, as all Kamen Riders do, but this belt is special. This belt has a name.
Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell. And he talks. And he may or may not have an actual soul. But he's the best character of the show aside from Japan's ass, Kamen Rider Chaser. Kamen Rider Mach, the secondary rider you see there to the left, they realize that if our main rider isn't going to have anything to do with the bike, our secondary has to be everything about a bike. And so he's got a little bike theme going on. He is from America. His entire Kamen Rider system was built in America by a guy named Dr. Harley. Get it? Harley? And so his intro is one of my favorite intros. I used to play it at cons, but I couldn't find my edited video when I was putting this together. He says English words in the Japanese show, and it's fantastic. It's very showy. It's very
American.
over the top. As I enjoy things that are over the top. And then after Kamen Rider Drive, we said, what if we just skip the whole year? We don't have to do Kamen Rider every year. And so they did Ghost. Kamen Rider Ghost is about an 18-year-old who dies on his birthday and then comes to life and then dies again. And then he comes to life and dies again.
Hey, if I die,
I know we have some Ghost fans and I'll dog on Ghost all day. But I will give Ghost two defenses. Number one, Kamen Rider Spectre is not a weirdo. They didn't write him a character. All he has is defending his sister. Sorry that gets almost weird, because it's all he does. He doesn't have a hobby, he doesn't have anything. But it's the fandom that has turned it into something gross, and I hate that. And so Ghost doesn't deserve that hate. It deserves all the hate in the world for the writing. Unless you're intoxicated, in which case Ghost is a lot of fun. If you watch Ghost all the way through sober, you deserve a medal. This is the end of me saying, we're currently in the Reiwa era, and so I'll touch on this very quickly before we go. Reiwa Kamen Rider started with Kamen Rider 01 at the top left. It's a classic series about 3D printing and being the president of a company.
With the first ever non-binary Kamen Rider.
We are just now finishing up Kamen Rider Saber down here at the bottom right, because remember, this show's still going. Every year we have a new Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider Saber down here is just finishing up now. He's based on fairy tales and swords. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't all the Kamen Rider names based on like swords and different kinds of swords?
Different ones, yeah.
And then, so the next coming one, since it's the 50th anniversary series, is Kamen Rider Revice. There's been a lot of announcements for it. It should be starting next month. I don't have any images for it because there's a lot of questionable things going on in Kamen Rider these days. And I just didn't feel the need to bring them up. But the toys do look fun. I will say that.
And I love that in-show Kamen Rider is a fictional thing, and the favorite, and the inside is...
A lot of the ideas of Revice look like a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
Honestly, I love
But I'll finish up this. If you've enjoyed it, it's about my time. I got about 2 minutes left. If you've enjoyed Kamen Rider, seek it out. Find it. It's harder to find than it used to be. Because somebody doesn't want you to see it. Find it. it. Watch it. Don't let them win. You can find the first 2 episodes of every series on YouTube, and then you just gotta fend for yourself on the internet.
I hope they stop posting more episodes.
If you're familiar with Kamen Rider and you're looking for henchman toys today, my Artist Alley booth, 474, I have some of my stuff I'm getting rid of. Thank you. This has been spectacular.
Now that is what I call a great panel. Now, I wasn't able to attend the My Hero Academia voice actor panel because it filled up so fast. So instead, we're going to meet back up with Titanosaurus in the shopping area.
Oh my gosh, what is this world coming to, Retro Reject?
Yeah, I know, Titanosaurus. Some people are pretty weird.
Yeah, come on, let's get out of here.
Well, I have finally achieved my main objective, finding a Red Hood comic. And since it is the first one of the Rebirth franchise, it's a good place to start.
Well, that's great, Retro Reject, but what do we do now?
Well, I still have to find a gift for my friend, and I did see something that might interest him, and I also got some other stuff to get for myself as well.
Well, okay, I'm along for the ride. Hey, do you think you could give me just a little bit of money so I can look around and maybe buy something too?
Yeah, sure, Titanosaurus. Just make sure not to waste it all on something stupid. Alright, I found a nice piece of art for my friend who's sick, back in the art gallery area, and I think he's really gonna like it. Now I did also buy a couple of other items, but I won't showcase them until later.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm just taking it all in. Yeah, man, I mean, there's so much stuff here, I don't know what to choose. I mean, I don't know what to buy with just a little bit of money I have. I mean, I know I got Mechagodzilla, that poster, but I mean, maybe I should get something else for the other guys. But I know for sure I'm not going to get anything anime related. But keep it between you and me. The Retro Reject is in his phase of liking anime again.
Well, this is my last purchase of the day, 2 Deadshot comics. So I'm gonna head back to the hotel. And once there, I'll tell you guys how I felt this overall Megacon experience went.
Well, guys, that was the end of day 2 of Megacon, and as well as my Megacon experience as a whole. Now, I gotta say, day 2 was pretty fun. Now, even though I wasn't able to go to the My Hero Academia voice actor panel because I severely underestimated the power of My Hero Academia fans, I was able to go to the villain training camp panel. Although the original people who were supposed to be running that panel were a no-show, so they got another very capable person there instead. And I mean, it was still fun, but it probably wasn't as great as if the original people showed up. And then the Kamen Rider panel was amazing. I was able to get a lot more stuff on day 2. And as well as the fact that I think my cosplay was kind of a hit. I got a few pictures from people, as well as I was able to take a picture with another person who I really enjoyed their cosplay. But the thing is that my suit kind of got beat up a little bit from going there. And now it's nothing like major damages in it. I could easily fix them. It's just it kind of sucks knowing that that happened. But hey, I think I did the Red Psycho Ranger proud by wearing that cosplay. Oh, and Titanosaurus, what did you think of Megacon?
Yeah, it was alright for me, Retro Reject. I mean, I was able to get a few things for Mechagodzilla, Nala, and Hashima. And then I did help you find a couple of other stuff. But yeah, I would say it's alright for me. It kind of sucks how all the vendors at that Megacon don't have any merchandise of me, and instead focus on Godzilla and all those other monsters and leaving me out of it. But hey, I had fun, and that's what counts.
Well, that is good to hear. Yeah, I kind of wish we did show a little bit more of Titanosaurus, but, I mean, it is what it is, and, now I think I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow to show you just all the things I was able to get at Megacon. So, wow, yeah, guys, we're back at my house again, and as I promised, I'm going to show you my full haul that I got at Megacon this year. Alright, so most of you probably already know the comics I got, but I was able to be successful with getting my Red Hood comic, and then as well as these 2 Deadshot comics. Now the thing is, the reason why I got these, because this particular story is in like a 4-part series. At a previous comic book convention before, I got the issues 2 and 3, but I wasn't able to find 1 and 4, so this is 1 and 4 of that series, so I'll finally be able to complete that comic series. And then obviously I think most of you saw that I got the 2 Ghost Rider Punisher crossover comics. And then, of course, this is the full look at the Mechagodzilla poster that Titanosaurus got for Mechagodzilla. Haven't shown it to Mechagodzilla yet, but I think he is going to like it, because, I mean, look at that. Looks freaking amazing. Yeah, a lot of the people who made the artwork at Megacon, like, from the ones that I haven't been able to show, like, a lot of them put a lot of hard work into this, so yeah. And then here's the interesting thing. So at Megacon this year, I wasn't able to get any Godzilla action figures, but I found these guys, and they're like original creations by people, and I mean, look at these things. Look at them. They're so freaking amazing. And so the first one, as you see, his name is Nosferatudon, and he's like a vampire-like kaiju. And then over here is Titanicus. And the thing is, I got these 2 for $60. You could buy one for $40, or you could buy both of them for $60. And so obviously I went with both of them. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting find at Megacon. But just curious, would you guys like to see one of these 2, or how about both of them appear in one of the Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla adventures? Because just judging from how cool their designs are, it just goes without saying that I think it would be interesting to have an episode with one of them or both of them. Man, honestly, I think this is better than any of the like the Godzilla action figures I saw here, because they just look so awesome in their designs. And with them being original creations, I'm glad to be supporting these guys, because with the little stickers right here, I got those as well. They came free with it. It seems like they also have some other original kaiju that they make, and I might as well give them a shout out about Titanic Creations. So if you guys want to go check out their website, I'm pretty sure they sell these guys, and probably them as well. And they're probably going to make more. As you can see right here, these are their origin comics. So with the purchase of the action figures, they come with an origin comic. I don't know if it's different for the website, but. And then you guys probably passed this one by, but this is probably a custom-made Lego minifig of Ochaka Uraraka. Now, the other ones I came across were Bakugo, Tsuyu Asui, Mina Ashido, and then obviously Ochako. I decided to go with Ochako because she's like my 3rd favorite female student from Class 1A. Obviously, everybody knows Kyoka Jiro's number 1. And then the second one is actually somebody I'm going to reveal in a video later on, because I'm going to do another My Hero Academia ASMR reaction pretty soon. And I think Titanosaurus said he wanted me to give this to Hashima. I don't know why. I mean, he explained to me that he thought that maybe that there wasn't an Ochaka Uraraka in his future that he lives in. But I don't know.
she probably does. I don't know. I have to ask him later. And this was another find that Titanosaurus found, and he said he wanted me to give it to Nala, particularly for the reason that it is sort of like a cheetah combined with a falcon. I have no idea why he comes up with this stuff and decides who to give it to, because I don't know why Nala would want this. He told me that he wanted to give it to her so then that she could show it to the rest of the Pride Landers, just so she can mess with their brains to think that something like this actually exists. But then, as I've shown before, this is my autograph from Robert Patrick. Right, and he signed it, the T-1000, and it has one of his catchphrases from Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Call to John now.
So yeah, that was the overall haul of the things I got at Megacon this year. But actually, as I got home, I ordered something before then, and it was something based off of a Has-Been Hotel, because as evidenced with my past two videos, I've become like a really big fan of that series. And Vivzy Pop made like special summer merch for Has-Been Hotel. And it's like, a lot of that stuff was limited, so I decided to get at least one of them, and it's a little pin of one of my favorite characters from that series. It's of Charlie. Now, yeah, it's just like a little special summer pin. I don't know if they still have them. They're very limited in stock. But yeah. But then you're also probably wondering did I get anything for my friend while I was at Megacon? And yes, I did. It's just this little drawing of Rainbow Dash. He and we are such big fans of My Little Pony, and Rainbow Dash is his favorite pony from that series. So yeah, this was just another little piece of artwork I found at Megacon, and I think he was really going to like it. And funnily enough, he and I are going to be doing a collaboration video again, most likely for the 200 subscriber video. That is going to be something My Little Pony related. Wait a minute, did I say that out loud? Okay, I guess it's time to end the vlog, guys. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, whatever the heck you want to do, and then maybe hit that little bell icon to get notified when the old school is back in session. So shut up the vlog!